Thank you.
All right,
No
we'll
public
go on
comment.
to approval of September meeting minutes. We'll pull those up.
Move that we approve as written.
Second.
There's a quorum minimum, is there 5? It is, okay.
So a motion to approve.
For a second?
Is there a second?
Oh,
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Minutes approved. Okay, financial report
No,
for September. Oh, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on to the financial report.
Couple of things on the financial report. I talked to Phyllis about it. It's about $2,500 over what was budgeted for the month. And she explained to me how on the government side, finances hit when they come in, not when you necessarily have them lined up for the budget line. So some of them were the swimnastics instructor's last few hours that she had, my drug test, the deep cleaning at the snack bar, tennis balls for it. So that's why I pushed it up to $2,500 compared to what was budgeted.
But it shouldn't affect the year,
No,
just
no, just for the month. And from a revenue standpoint, there was $800 that was a donation from the Wyomissing Hills Social Committee that hit that month.
Any other comments? We need a motion to approve the financial report.
So moved.
Jenna, second. Second. Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving on to committee reports, fall walk series.
Fall Walk Series, the second installment is this weekend on Sunday, 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, self-guided tour. It's supposed to be beautiful, windy, but it's supposed to be sunny and a little bit warmer, but 30-mile-an-hour winds. Rick is here now, I can say, but Rick is going to help me cover it. I have surgery tomorrow. For people who didn't know, I'm having surgery tomorrow. So I'll be just getting back into with Spooky Hollow, and then hopefully I feel okay that I can do the Fall Walk Series, but Rick said he would help cover it for me.
Okay, fall festival.
Okay, so I'm sure you guys all know we rescheduled Spooky Hollow to this coming Saturday, the 21st, 5 to 7, because the forecast was just awful last weekend. And this Saturday it's a little bit of a mix. So, but it is going to be rain or shine, because we've all worked really hard and it's just going to be wonderful. So we're hoping, obviously, that the rain will pass through. We were pretty lucky, I would say. Most of the outside community groups and vendors were actually able to accommodate the change. Not everyone, of course. I don't remember if we touched base with you. Did you? You're still okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have to make any contingency plans in the event it starts raining or is raining as far as certain activities, getting them
Right.
covered?
I think what we're going to do is we're going to make something of a game time decision if it looks likely that it'll be raining during the event. We'll stage everything under the pavilion that we can. We might have to scrap a few things, but we try to bring everything up underneath. We do have a lot of space there, and actually because of one of the outside folks that was coming in, it was the reptile man. I forget what he was called.
Forgotten Reptiles.
Unfortunately, he was going to have like an entire half just for his show, and that was one of the groups that was not able to accommodate the change. So we do have extra space now, and we have been talking about maybe using that for seating for folks who just need extra seating for food or whatnot. But we would have that available. But we would have to make some big changes, obviously.
Would it be worthwhile to consider erecting a tent, or at least having them reserved?
I don't know that we could honestly rent one in this short notice. And what's it do to your budget?
Well, we're saving the $700 from the reptile guy. I can check with Nights Run in the morning.
I know they have them they'll set them up for the cheerleaders and stuff like that during the games. I wonder if I know the football team can't help help us with anything, but I wonder if they'd maybe let us borrow them.
Are they regular 10 by 10?
They won't need them, they're just like pop-up, they're pretty big, and 10 by 10 sounds about right, like they don't have sides or
Yeah.
anything, but it would be enough to, you know,
They stick them
If it's
down.
raining, I'm thinking the
yeah.
night's rental
that's a
puts
good
up
idea.
is gonna stay.
Yeah, that's,
All
I'm worried about the wind.
The wind
Yeah,
is the
I would do
biggest
that,
concern.
and if there's a budget
I've had
issue,
multiple pop-ups for.
we can talk,
Yeah.
you know, we might be able to provide some
Okay.
support for that.
Yeah, that's a,
But,
that's a
but
good
just, especially if there's, I mean, some of the activities that the kids would enjoy, you know, it's not gonna work outdoors if it's raining, the needle in the haystack and some of the other stuff, but they have 20 by 40s and 20 by 20s, so you can
Mhm.
get sidewalls or not. I would encourage, that way I think we could still, whether it is raining or not, a pretty successful event. And with our event, the following weekend, we always get tents, but sometimes we reserve an extra one depending on the weather forecast, but we can cancel within 24 hours before. So if we know the day before, weather's gonna be okay, we'll cancel one of them. And they seem to be okay with that.
Okay, I'll check in with Tiffany tomorrow at night's rental and see.
That's a
That's a good
suggestion.
idea.
And then the only other thing, like, we've been talking about is
Okay.
just kind of making sure that we have, like, we pretty much know where we stand with our outside groups and our food vendors, but we are still kind of trying to work out, our volunteers, especially our student volunteers. Kristen's been super helpful with trying to reach out to everyone, so we have like a rough idea, but, it'll still be a little bit of a surprise. So, who is available to come on Saturday and help?
To set up or during the, which,
Any part and every part that you would like. We definitely, I know
I'll be
Kim's
there.
there,
I'll be
Kristen's
there.
there, Jessica, fantastic. So, yeah, just please let me know, maybe after the meeting, we'll definitely put you to work.
What time do you think setup's gonna start? What time is
12.
setup gonna start?
12. Hopefully the rain is done. Right now the rain is showing it's gonna stop between 11 and 12. It looks like it's coming in earlier than they thought it was going to.
so it could shift, like if it's gonna rain till like 12:30, you probably won't, you know, like, I can't imagine you, like if it's gonna push out and then maybe you can set it at 1 or whatever, it could be a little bit of flux there.
Greg's guys are gonna bring over the hay bales, pumpkins at noon, and he's got 2 guys that are there to help us. Rick said that his schedule is cleared now, so he can help us on Saturday as
Oh,
well.
wonderful. So, I mean, we would love to have more volunteers and, you know, just have people to be able to, you know, we end up just socializing. But yeah, I think we're in a pretty good spot, so.
And you think you have enough people to help like run the different games and things that you had outlined? Or that's what you're not
We're
sure about?
hoping, that's the high school volunteers, they signed up, I had confirmation for last weekend. They were all informed of the new date, a couple have canceled, but I sent out like individual confirmation emails today in hopes of hearing something, like yes
High
or
school
no
kids,
or
it's
something.
so frustrating.
But I'm worried, I mean, yeah, so we'll see. We have a rough idea, but I think we overestimated maybe on the games how many we needed, so my hope is that we're still gonna have enough as
So
long as.
do you think the
people
sign
are
up
signed up.
genius is reflecting the right number of people and names now?
It should be, I'll double check it tonight when
Okay.
I get home, but it should be pretty close to
Okay, good.
it.
Yeah, we were trying to recruit extra volunteers so that kind of if kids need to sub out or go to the bathroom or they just kind of need a break.
Floaters.
So we had a little bit of extra, but now we might be really putting them to work. So let's see, but it'll be a good time. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, lighting of the greens.
So for the lighting of the greens, Randy and I had a sit down, kind of walked him through how it's been before. I have been trying to get either a pony ride back, I know we had that for a number of years, and there are no pony rides within reasonable distance that will come, so I'm looking at some petting zoo options. That I got a quote for one, so hopefully we'll be able to fit that in the budget.
Yeah, you did.
I think the toughest part with lighting and greens that I've seen so far is the night's rental, the tents and the heater, if we need them, is $2,500. It's almost half of the entire budget. It's gone up dramatically when I looked at last year, what we spent at night's rental compared to what the budget is this year, and it's just the cost of doing business anymore. I think it's $700 higher than it was last year. And there's nothing they could do about it, so, having difficulty finding a Santa. Everybody's either booked or got out of the business. Just to give you an idea, I had some other things that I looked at, and one of them, we're really excited about the photo op that we had for Happy Hollow for the Halloween Carnival, so I looked at a snow globe. To rent that was $800. Just a 8-foot tall inflatable was $800 to do something like that. I thought outside the box, like, if we can't go ice skating yet, Felina Winery has their ice skating rink. That's $2,500 to $5,000 to rent an ice skating rink. Because I was just thinking of ways to make it more engaging, but it's cost prohibitive to do a lot of these things. So right now, based on our conversation, we're looking at anniversarying the majority of the things that we did last year. So
I know we have a program to encourage donations from businesses in a more general sense, I think, but would be worthwhile trying to attract sponsors for more specific events. There's probably people that attend that event that they're always there, they really enjoy lighting to the greens, and maybe we would get some sponsors. I don't know if we could pull that off in the time remaining, but somebody that might be more apt to sponsor for a specific event as opposed to just a general fund.
I know Reading Orthopedic has been great about the 4th of July and so on,
You mean orthodontic?
orthopodic.
No, don't make that
She was
mistake.
excited about getting together and talk, so maybe that's somebody I reach out to.
Cool.
Who's that?
Beth Dillon.
Beth, yeah.
Beth, yeah.
Let me ask, with lighting of the greens, what actually is like lighting up?
The tree.
Was it, cause wasn't there, I feel like, I wasn't on the rec, I don't, it was before I was in the rec board, but like, I feel like there was discussion about like, it's a little bit like anticlimactic, cause like, there's this like whole thing, and then this like, it's like really little, it's like a really little tree that lights up.
Yeah.
And then, like last year, I literally didn't see, I don't think I saw anything light up. Like, do we have an issue last year, like a technical issue?
Yeah.
Cause like nothing lit up, like we like did the whole thing, and not only was it anticlimactic, it was like, it didn't work.
It didn't go on, and then he had, something had like a circuit or
There
something,
was
I
a
don't know
switch
what
that
it
needed to
was.
get flicked for the plug to work.
There,
I feel like I need to bring this up because I mean it is called lighting of the greens. So like I feel like if the event is called lighting of the greens, like
The lights
I
are
feel
like-
like there should be some significant.
So it's the
Lights
lights
on
on
the
the
building.
stone house,
Yeah.
and then there's a tree that gets lit. The switch, Greg and the public works guys can run you through everything that needs to be plugged and triple check
Did
it.
I
work
met
last
with
year.
Greg already about this, cause I heard
Yeah,
the same thing,
yeah.
and he said, Rainey, we will check, double check, triple check it, and make sure it's ready to go by then.
Those lights are actually
If there's a
every
way to
yeah.
increase the
Increase the
illumination,
lights.
I would
Yeah.
concur that would probably,
That's like the biggest
go over
leak
very well.
So
that I've
part of the
heard.
problem with that is two people that have looked through Christmas decorations. One, we ordered a lot of new lights, not just for the stone house, for the whole borough this year, and those were ordered over the summer because of the lag time in getting them. They have to be commercial grade lights, we can't just go to Home Depot and buy residential lights. The other piece to that is the cost, the catalog we were
Yeah.
looking through on Friday. We had sticker shock, what was that fake truck that didn't even
Yeah.
run, it just lit up, was like
$18,000.
$18,000. We're going into the start of a very tough budget discussion tomorrow. We're actually potentially budgeting a deficit of 1.2 million for rec next year. So
How does that compare to like?
we're at 500,000 this year. So, and I mean, those are for major projects like the pool, the stone
Yeah.
house. So as much as I would love to say we'll get more lights, I don't know that at this point that's happening.
what about, could we bring them to home and just set them up for like, when you flip the switch and then take them down? At the end, just like,
some sort of more like.
is that not allowed?
Or garland,
So,
like garland.
not even
the
turn on and then
Yeah.
take them
It
right
doesn't have to
down.
be
So my concern there is those lights are all set up by parks and maintenance
Yeah,
employees,
okay.
and that's a collective bargaining agreement, that's a grievance, it's a labor contract.
Here's another question. You know how that house on Reading Boulevard, like literally brings in trees and they plant trees in their yard? You know, like the one mansion that has like the hill that has the deer, the herd of deer. You know what I'm talking about? They plant trees and it looks awesome.
Stephanie's house.
Yeah, it's runs, Stephanie runs them.
So that house, like they actually like plant the trees and then they keep them in the burlap. So like then they take them out and replant them. Like they don't like, it's not like a cut tree.
I sent
Are
it
there
out to,
trees that we're like gonna like, I'm just thinking like, are there any trees that we're planning to plant?
I sent a note to Mike at Spades, basically asking the same thing, if he could donate trees that are still in the burlap, that we could
Yeah.
plant them afterwards. And as a donation, and I haven't heard back from him yet.
Okay.
But that was one of my ideas,
'Cause
was
that just makes it
line the
festive,
path
evergreen.
with more evergreen and then plant them afterwards, but I haven't heard back from him.
That's exactly what I was thinking, like the path around the pond with
Yeah.
evergreens would be beautiful.
Um, Yeah, free as me.
Yeah.
So it's, I guess the short of it is work in progress.
Yeah.
But I hear everything you just said is what people have either emailed, called, pulled me aside on the avenue and
I
told
just
me.
wanna make sure you were aware of.
Yeah.
Okay, Randy, your report?
I went over the over budget for September. Movies in the park, the 10-7 one was a success. Thanks for coming out. We only had 2 little snafus. Generator died and the screen collapsed, but it was a good.
It was fine.
It was a good 6-minute break because all the kids ran around and stretched their legs out.
They were all getting drowsy.
We're
so-
all ready after that. And then the piece that attaches to the fan came undone, came untied, and it went down for less than 2 minutes. So I felt good about that. It was almost like a pit crew stop. So, but I think there were about 50, 60 people there. It was chilly, the ground was wet. For being a Florida boy, it was extremely uncomfortable for me, but it was a good movie. So, and a lot of people said it was great afterwards. So and that spot at Berkshire Heights is ideal for watching movies with the tiers in the outfield. Fitz's Halloween 5K, I met with Mike earlier this week, or was it last week? I can't
Last
remember. And really, there's no burden on us. We're coordinating the road signs for his group, and I talked to Greg about the trash cans, so we're all set. And like you said, after 19 years, it pretty much runs itself.
We got it down.
The Holiday Lights Fun Run and Walk, I met with Sally a little bit today, and she kind of told me what's happened over the last couple of years and what was good about it, what could be better. So that was eye-opening for me. I immediately went and met with Serena and Jason at Fleet Feet to confirm that they want to participate, or they will participate with us again, and they're both extremely happy to do so. Sarita, yeah. I always thought it was Serena, I don't know.
No,
She's always so nice.
She's
She,
been a
came,
lot.
she heard us talking and she came running down the stairs to join the conversation. Facilities maintenance, I met with Bob from Full Service Concessions earlier this week, and he's agreed verbally to rewriting the contract that they pay for the propane, they pay for the deep cleaning, and they pay for any certificates or inspections for the pool, for the concession stand. So by 11:15, I'll have that written, get it over to you to look at, and we'll do another 12-month contract with them, operating agreement.
so they're not paying for the electric.
Not-
We can't separate it out, there's only one
But
meter.
what we can say, it's $100 a month, $200 a month for me.
We could, but I mean, at this point with everything else they're paying for, the electric they're probably using, because most of the equipment is gas powered. So,
One of the things I did ask him for, and he didn't have it during our meeting, were sales from me, because I just wanted to see what it was, what they did. And he said the next time we get together, he'd have that information for me. Rentals, the 9/13 to 10/16, had 1 at Happy Hollow and 5 at the Stone House. Programming, one of the things, like, I felt we spent almost half the meeting last month about was the lap swimming at the pool. And I totally agree that's important. I talked to Michelle about this, about forming a committee for the pool. That it would be everything from, instead of having the entire board sit in it, pick 3, 4 people, whatever the number is, but form a committee that really focuses on the pool, whether it's staffing, fees, concession stand, activities, things like that, and really drill down rather than open it up to the entire board, then come back and make a presentation. So that'll be something we look at to get started in January. One of the things Jana asked me about was comparing prices from local townships. I'm meeting with Judy from the Spring Township on 11/1 to go over all their pricing and their activities, to get a better understanding of what other people are charging.
So make sure to ask her how she runs 8 playgrounds with a quarter of our employees.
So she actually, did you mention something to her? Cause she called me first. And so I figured you must have told her something.
No, I was actually talking to John Groller, who's Springs Township's manager. We were commiserating over the summer about just finding good help in general. And we were talking about like playground staffing, and he volunteered they have 8 playgrounds and they do it with like 24 employees. And I'm like, really? Because we have 2 playgrounds and we have like 100+ employees, including the pool.
She was excited about meeting, so I think it'll be a good conversation. That's it for the director's report.
Okay,
It's budget season, I presume you are,
Drilling down. Phyllis is mad at me that I haven't been a little bit more proactive in getting numbers to her yet, but I still have to get some other stuff.
okay, we've got a couple items under old business.
I sent out the programming dates, and so you guys had a chance to look at those. There are 2 things that I wanted to add for next year. A
Do you
couple
want
of,
the calendar or do you want the
that's fine. No, this is good. One of the things Jana mentioned to me, I think somebody else talked to me about before, that we did a great job of attracting, little kids and an older set, and we really needed to do something for that middle group. So that's why I really tried to pick a couple of things that I thought we could work into the budget that were inexpensive and still make an impact. One of them was the drive-in idea. The people that we work with, Funflix, that we've rented the projector and the screen before, now that we own it, but we don't need to, but they're putting together a proposal for me. And whether we partner with the mall, the school, somebody that we could use their parking lot and show a movie other than an animated classic, something that, drivers, 20s, could date night, that kind of thing. That would be a cool thing to do because of the nostalgia behind drive-ins.
Well, I'm thinking of it when that was not raffle on Monday. They were gonna do that during COVID, and they were actually talking to Georgie was about using like the teleplex to come on.
Oh,
So that would be another option if
Okay.
you do it on a weekend.
you'll,
I don't think
might
the
not be
malls.
good to, no,
Yeah, I don't think the mall's gonna
especially soon.
now.
The other event is a national event. It's National Night Out. It's in partnership with police departments, and it's all about community-driven and strengthening that bond between the police and the community. Chief Phillips was out on vacation when I sent him the initial email, but I don't see really any pushback on doing something like this. Reading does it. I think there's 53 cities in Pittsburgh alone that, or in the Pennsylvania that do it. So I think it's a natural for us to do something like that. Berkshire Heights would probably be a great location to do it at.
I'm sure the fire department's gonna weigh in on that too, and probably Western Berks ambulance as well.
Yeah, I think it's the second, either first Tuesday, I think I had it as August 6th. It's either the second Tuesday or first Tuesday in August.
And then Michelle suggested using that to help advertise the open house at the fire department.
Yeah.
We had one
Last
weeks
week.
ago, last week, it
Last
wasn't,
Wednesday.
we aspire to more tenants.
We would have, yeah, we would have gone for it. I didn't know about it.
Blast the day. One of my suggestions for that too is to do it on a Saturday next year.
Yeah.
I think we need a motion to approve these, or is this just for general information at this point?
No, I think, I would like to, because then I can start building the programming book for next year.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve.
Could I just,
Yep.
sorry, Mike, before you, did you, for the EdCon, I think there was talk about like the rain date, the timing of the rain date, when do you have the EdCon? 12, so
12.
when's the, did we say 12 or did we say 1 for the rain date? We talked about that.
I think most church services are over by 4, aren't they?
I think we pushed it back at just 1 hour if it was on Sunday.
If it was 12?
Yeah, cause it's normally.
Yeah, I think it was listed this past year as the same time, 11
It
o'clock.
was, yeah,
Yeah.
we had,
And
we
then
had
a couple of
discussion over
people-
it, I couldn't remember if we
Melissa,
settled on
you
12 or 1.
mentioned it to me
but
about
it was
pushing it
12.
back.
But do you want, no, if it's the July 4th parade is on a Sunday, don't we do it at 1? I thought we did it on 1
I
on
think it was, I
Sunday.
think that's what we
And I think it should be 1 instead of 12, because people go to church at 11.
People go to church
not
and
out
they
at
eat
12,
lunch
so-
and then they go to the egg.
Yeah, so
That's a good question.
1 would be better.
This is not a year it falls on Sunday. I'd have to go back and look. I can't honestly remember.
Like deja vu. That's exactly. There's no rain
And I
dates
think
for
we
sure.
do enough. I don't know, particularly stage entertainment, but I think people use that a lot.
No, yeah. There's no rain dates for the movies. Randy and I talked about that because they're all on Saturdays. Your rain date would be a Sunday, which while it's not a school night, 'cause it's summer, people have to go to work. So
Right.
is somebody really gonna go to a movie at 7 or 8 p.m. on
Yeah.
a Sunday night? Probably
Yeah,
not.
we don't need rain dates for everything.
Some things that aren't on here that Mike and I had a great conversation when we met, and he had tons of great ideas, so they didn't go ignored. I just had to do some more thinking through it and stuff like that.
Like, what are you looking for, a motion to add those 2 events?
Yep,
to the
I guess
calendar
we're
for
done with it. Okay, so
2024?
we need a motion to add the programming events per Randy's description. National Night Out and Drive-In movie.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. New business. Is there any? Take that as a no. In that case, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. That was, wow.
That was a record. That was a record.
That's like Rob
27
Lewis
minutes.
at the time.
So why you voted